The devastation in Oklahoma is all too familiar to the people in Joplin, Missouri, who experienced their own EF5 tornado 2 years ago.
Only about 1% of all tornadoes in the United States are EF5.
The battle of two storms for survival. Two cities, two EF5 tornadoes, two communities transformed forever. Just minutes apart, the Joplin tornado takes 158 lives as it razes that city. The Moore tornado, 24, some of them children sheltering in their elementary school. Behind these staggering numbers are stories of ordinary people bearing extraordinary destruction and the fight to rebuild from utter devastation. This journey through America's two deadliest modern tornadoes will show you more than the unimaginable forces of nature, but also how these communities found hope in the darkest of hours. What happened in Joplin and Moore could happen everywhere. The survival lessons from these twin disasters could save your family one day. Two communities would face the greatest force of nature in the spring of 2011 and 2013, Joplin, Missouri, and Moore, Oklahoma. Their tales are not just about devastation, but rather about something so much deeper, the incredible fortitude of everyday human beings. What makes us human is not the homes we build, but what we do when those homes are taken away. This is the story of how two communities lost everything, except what matters most. The Joplin tornado, a monster of nature. Sunday, May 22, 2011. Joplin, Missouri, a sleepy town of 50,000. Families were wrapping up Sunday dinner. Some were headed to high school graduation. No one suspected that miles overhead, the atmosphere was brewing something miraculous.
Tornadoes tend to occur on warm, humid days where strong thunderstorms are present.
Experts make it known that where the Joplin storm was unusual was in the near-perfect combination of wind shear, moisture, and instability. The storm strengthened so quickly that even veteran forecasters were caught off guard by its evolution. At 5:34, the National Weather Service had issued a tornado warning. Within a matter of minutes, an enormous EF5 tornado, the highest rating on the scale, touched down west of the city. The tornado expanded to nearly a mile in width, winds topping 200 miles per hour. But these are just numbers. The genuine measure of this storm was yet to be chalked up in the lives of thousands. The sirens were going off, but we heard that before. It was not until I heard what sounded like a freight train that I knew this was not a typical storm. Another survivor said. What came next would forever fracture time in Joplin into before and after. The human response. Joplin's survival story. In the face of unimaginable destruction, Joplin's community did what no storm could take away. They survived. People who had lost everything found strength in each other. Families, friends, and strangers came together to rebuild their homes and their lives. Whole neighborhoods just disappeared. The tornado left an estimated 7,500 homes and 500 businesses destroyed or damaged and killed 161 lives. It was the deadliest individual tornado in the United States since modern record-keeping started.
Among the scenes of destruction,
it's a miracle we're alive, and thank God we are.
I was no longer in my basement, and I couldn't recognize where I was. Not just my house, the whole street was gone. I had no landmarks to orient myself with. It was like being dropped into a foreign land, another survivor said. As night fell on Joplin that evening, the full scale of the devastation was still undetermined. Communications were down, roads were impassable, and thousands of others were frantically looking for loved ones. The Moore tornado, a dark cloud over another town. 2 years later and 225 miles away, Moore, Oklahoma, was a community that already knew what nature's fury felt like. After surviving severe tornadoes in 1999 and 2003, Residents had learned the drill when storms rolled in. On May 20th, 2013, meteorologists again looked to the sky with increasing unease as conditions eerily resembled what had played out in Joplin. At 2:56 p.m., a tornado rated EF5 eventually struck just west of Newcastle, Oklahoma. As it got closer to Moore, it grew in strength very quickly and expanded to more than a mile wide. When forecasters detected the tornado's path would take it right through Moore, they issued a rare tornado emergency, the highest possible warning level. I just knew when they said tornado emergency on the TV that this wasn't an average Oklahoma storm. We had the kids and the dogs and got in the shelter as quick as we could, the survivor said. For 40 minutes, the clock froze while the tornado painstakingly approached and then sliced through Moore. What was especially heartbreaking about this storm was that it went straight through 2 elementary schools. The emotional toll, Moore's struggle to survive. In Moore, the devastation left many feeling as though they had nothing left. But even in the darkest moments, the people of Moore displayed a level of resilience that was truly awe-inspiring. The pain was real, but so was the power to rebuild. In Moore, the devastation left many feeling as though they had nothing left. But even in the darkest moments, the people of Moore displayed a level of resilience that was truly awe-inspiring. The pain was real, but so was the power to rebuild. But for an EF5 tornado, conventional sheltering strategies fell short. That day, 7 children died at Plaza Towers Elementary. We were doing everything we could to keep them safe. I was trying to shield children underneath me. The sound was so loud. And then there were no walls, said the teacher. The tornado killed 24 people and injured nearly 400 and cost an estimated $2 billion in damage. Once more, a community came on the verge of the unthinkable, rebuilding from zero. A tale of 2 storms, the key differences between Joplin and Moore. 2 storms, 2 cities, 2 disasters that left scars on history. But while Joplin and Moore both faced the unstoppable force of EF5 tornadoes, their fates took very different paths. One became the deadliest tornado in modern U.S. history, wiping entire neighborhoods off the map. The other, though just as violent, saw far fewer lives lost. Why did one town suffer unimaginable devastation, while the other had a higher chance of survival? Was it luck? Preparation? The path of destruction? As we explore these 2 storms, we'll reveal the key differences in how Joplin and Moore faced disaster, showing how those variations determined who lived and who didn't. The storms, comparing size, speed, and impact of Joplin versus Moore. Joplin's tornado was a slow-moving monster, nearly 1 mile wide, grinding through the heart of the city for 22 minutes. Its unpredictable path and rapid intensification left little time for residents to seek shelter. The result? 158 lives lost, the deadliest tornado in modern U.S. history. Moore's tornado, while just as powerful, moved faster and tracked a more predictable path. It still left $2 billion in damage, but early warnings allowed more people to find safety, saving lives. Rebuilding, hope in the midst of destruction. And in the aftermath of catastrophic loss, something wonderful occurred in both communities, Joplin and Moore. Even before dedicated rescue teams had a chance to arrive, neighbors had begun to pull neighbors from the debris. Within hours, volunteers descended upon both communities. People traveled hundreds of miles, carrying chainsaws, water, and supplies. Mobile kitchens sprang from restaurants. Churches became shelters. We had to start turning volunteers away. Thousands of people registered who said, "Put me to work." It was overwhelming, not the destruction, but the response to it, volunteer coordinator said. In Joplin, volunteer groups numbering more than 130,000, almost 3 times the city's population, came pouring in during the weeks after the tornado. The response in Moore was similarly strong. 2 miles from where our house had been, someone found our family Bible. A complete stranger cleaned it out, dried it out, and tracked us down. That's when I felt that we could be okay, the survivor said. Legacy, strength beyond the storm. The road to recovery was neither easy nor quick, but little by little, both sets of communities started the long way toward rebuilding, not just buildings, but lives. In Moore, new building codes mandated that all houses be anchored to their foundations with tornado straps. On Shoal Olds, rebuilt with storm shelters capable of handling EF5 winds. In Joplin, the demolished St. John's Hospital was replaced by the Mercy Hospital Joplin, a state-of-the-art building built to endure winds up to 250 miles per hour. We weren't just trying to replicate what was there before. We wanted to seize this moment to build safer, stronger, more resilient communities. Each time we build a new building, we are incorporating what we learned from the tornado, said a city official. The recovery from Joplin and Moore's devastating tornadoes was not just about rebuilding physical structures, it was about rebuilding hope, resilience, and strength. These communities didn't just repair homes, they fortified their future, ensuring that the next storm, while still dangerous, wouldn't be as devastating. The lessons learned from these disasters echo through the strong foundations of safer homes and schools. The legacy of Joplin and Moore is a testament to the human spirit's ability to survive and rebuild, no matter the odds. Now, as we reflect on these incredible stories of survival, let us remember that preparedness can make all the difference. Whether you live in an area prone to storms, or simply want to protect your family, take action today. Learn the lessons from Joplin and Moore. Invest in storm shelters, stay informed, and always be ready. When the next storm strikes, it could save your life. Subscribe for more stories of survival and resilience. Prepare, learn, and stay safe.